Hey YouTube, Rook here from Rook Geek, and it's my little channel on the web for all things geeky and cool. And today we have another action figure review we're taking a look at today, guys. This is the Mattel WWE Elite figure for Sasha Banks. Now, I picked this particular figure up on a toy hunt. I'll put a link above if you want to click how I actually got this figure in my possession. Now, you may notice some weird sound issues, and I talked about this kind of briefly in a little snippet. I put in a little text message that popped up in a video for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway winner. My mic, I actually have a little mic that I actually attached to my shirt. That unfortunately broke in the midst of me shooting that video. So I had to pull my camera much closer to me to shoot than I normally would. Normally I have it much further back from me. That's why you see me very close to the camera. That's the reasoning for that. Just so you guys know, I have a new mic coming to me. I should get it hopefully beginning of next week. So when we actually look at this figure, we're going to go into a breakdown segment. We're going to look at the packaging, and I'm going to take her out of the packaging so you can see a cut in place of the actual how she looks in packaging and out of packaging. We're going to look at the articulation, the paint job, the accessories, which in my opinion is a big problem just by looking at her in the packaging here. And with that being said, guys, let's go to breakdown and see what it's all about. Okay guys, we're in our breakdown segment, and look who we got here. We got a guest here. Yes, my boy Dexter, the pimp himself, sporting the Sasha Banks legit boss glasses. I figured I'd put him in the shot too so you can take a look at him. I think he'll look really cool because I have my little glasses on him sitting in the back. If you guys never noticed, he actually does have these glasses on, which I got out of one of the subscription boxes. But let's actually put Dexter kind of the side over here. He'll be kind of like just here. So let's actually look at Sasha Banks. Here's what the packaging will look like. Let's put him further side. Here's what the packaging will look like for the Elite WWE Sasha Banks figure. Now, she looks really cool in the packaging. There's a lot going on in this particular packaging. So this is what the front would look like on the packaging. The side has the side shot of her here. The other has the same exact shot, and the back is really nice looking. I really like the way this packaging is presented. Great picture here, and all the figures that are available in this particular wave. Now, if you look down at the bottom, I think it's Tugboat, I believe it is. Tugboat, I believe? Yes, it is Tugboat. From the old WWF era. Well, of course, we have Macho over here, Macho Man. But this is the first in a particular line, so you will know. Now, the packaging looks really, really nice. Now, there's a lot going on with this, so we're going to take a cut real quick. I'm going to pull her out of the packaging, and we'll look at, again, the paint, the articulation, and the accessories. Okay guys, we have Sasha Banks out of package, so we have the figure and all her accessories. So let's actually talk about the figure first. And there's some both strengths and weaknesses about this figure, in my opinion. So let's actually look at the head sculpt first. The head looks really, really good. Is it a perfect representation of Sasha Banks? Honestly, no. It's okay. Not great, mind you. Let's actually look at the paint itself. The figure is painted in sort of an orange and white with black trim, and it looks like either stars or silver dots on the figure itself. Goes through it the entire figure. It transitions from the top to the bottom. So her chest area, her wraps around her arms, the trunks themselves, the knee pads, and the boots are all in this orange and black and white trim. So I do like the color aesthetics of the actual figure itself. Let's actually talk about articulation. The articulation will start at the head. The head can go 360 degrees. As you see me spin her head all the way around. The arms, you can get out to a full T. There's a little bit of a floating joint on her shoulders here, but that's okay. You can spin the arms complete 360 at the shoulder. Now this is a very interesting type of piece of articulation. Normally you don't see this on action figures. Normally you would have, maybe a cut here and then the elbow joint and then the wrist joint. This joint up here by the shoulder, you can actually spin the arm, this shoulder joint where the bicep is, complete 360. So I do like that there is a different type point of articulation in this arm. Then you have a single jointed elbow, and then you have the wrist, which spins 360 degrees. Now it does have this weird, funny sort of grip the hand is in, as you can see. I'll kind of spin around so you can see it in different poses. But there's a reason why it's gripped this way. It's because of the accessories. We'll talk about that shortly. Now, she does have this sort of floating torso rocker joint, as you see me rocking her around. It does, float well. It does sit on it, and it floats really, really well. So you get some articulation, which I do like that piece here. Now, when you get down to where her waist meets up with her trunks, there's an actual flaw. It's a bad thing of geometry in the way it's presented with the perspective. If you look at the figure head on like this, everything looks fine. But when you spin her waist like this, and you look at her this way, there's definitely a problem. It's the way this waist is designed into the trunk section here. So if you move her too much, you'll start getting some weird distortion perspective based on where the waist is, where her top of her body is. So I don't like how they did that piece there. Now going down further the figure, The legs can go out to almost a full split, as you see me do here. There is a bit of limitation near the thigh area here, near the crotch area. There is a bit of limitation where you can't get her out to a full split. There we go. Now, as far as going the other direction, I don't know if she'll do that. I'm getting resistance when I try this, so I'm making the assumption that it should not move in this fashion, which to me is bad design. Most figures you can see do as you see my breakdowns normally, they do a kick. I can't get a kick out of this figure. Literally. I can't make this figure kick the leg up because there's limits in the articulation. Now, it could be my figure. I don't know. I'm going to try forcing it. There we go. I was able to force it. I was worried. I thought I might have broken the leg. I didn't want to do that because it was very, very stiff. So it was just joint here, mind you, for me to break the joint in. So that's a good thing. See, even issues like this could happen when you shoot video. So you can bend her leg here. Now, if we go down even further to the knees, the other big issue we run into is the knee joint. When you try bending the knee, as you see me doing here, the knee pad kind of gets in the way. You have to kind of get very finicky with the knee pad to bend it. You have to move the knee pad up to make the knee move in this situation. Now, the leg does swivel on a joint here. So on the thigh cut, it does swivel the entire leg. So it's nice range of motion on the thigh swivel, as you see me doing here. So it does swivel at this thigh cut. And of course we have a boot swivel, so the boot can spin 360, and there's an ankle rocker. So there's good points of articulation and some kind of weird stuff for articulation you saw me doing earlier. Now I'll talk about this last, because unfortunately for me to put the coat on her, I got to put another cut in place because it's extremely difficult to get this coat on her. Let's actually look at some of the accessories. First, she comes with this, what I would call a gold chain that says, I think it says Boss on it. There we go. But to me, it's the wrong color gold. It's probably not coming off well on camera. It's sort of like a light bronzish color, not really gold in my opinion. I think they could have did better with this, or even given us a little gold chain with a gold nameplate. That's what I think they should have done. Giving us this piece of plastic here can be easily lost, and I don't like that. Next, she has her glasses. She does have the Sasha Banks red glasses. They do attach straight to the figure, so we'll put these on her. Basically just peg right in place. They have like little spots on her that actually will peg straight in. Get it oriented, so she'll look something like that. So she has her glasses on her, which I do like, which is how I would present this figure, how I would actually pose her figure on my shelf. This is how I would probably leave her on with these glasses on her, because I don't want to lose them. Now, next piece we'll take a look at is these stupid things here. I don't like these. These are the little nameplates that she holds, which would say legit boss. But they're so tiny. I'll move these ones. There we go. They're so tiny, they're easily lost. So I'll attempt to put these on her. I don't like what they did here with these particular pieces. I think this could have been executed a lot better. But like I said, I don't know why they have her in this weird. I mean, she has this weird grip of how she holds the boss word and then the word legit. So you have to put them in a very, very awkward angle to make it work. Again, I probably would not display her with these on. Again, I don't like them. I don't think that works for me at all. I think it looks weird. But that's kind of what it would look like with the legit boss nameplates in her hands. So like I said, I don't like it. I think this is a misstep as far, in my opinion, from Mattel. They could have did a lot better. You can easily lose these things, and I don't like, see they're dropping off now. So I don't like these at all, unfortunately. Now, I'm going to put a cut in place and come back with her jacket. So actually, before I put the cut in place, let's actually look at the jacket as a whole. There is a lot of detail on this thing. It actually clips in place, and this is a big issue I have. Is I tried putting this thing on her originally, just messing around with the figure, and it's very, very tough to get this clip in place. Also, when you have a piece of rubber like this is well known to start deteriorating by wear and tear and just break down. So this thing could actually just fall off, as far as I'm concerned. But I do like all the rhinestones on the jacket. It does say SB in the front here. I don't know if you can see. I'll kind of clip it in place so you kind of see what it would look like with it clipped. So it says SB, Sasha Banks. So this is a complete black jacket. So I'm going to pause this and we'll back in a second. Okay, so we have Sasha Banks here now completely in her jacket. Now, this thing is really difficult to put the jacket on the figure itself. Mainly because you have to open the jacket up and shove the arms into the arm slots here, the sleeves of this actual jacket. And there's not a lot of give on the jacket. That being the case, I mean, there are hole cutouts in the shoulder, which I do like. I love the aesthetics of how this thing looks. I think the execution is a little bit off here because the problem you run into, since this is a rubbery piece of material, you lose all your points of articulation when you have her in this jacket. So the arms do not bend. I think that's a complete misstep, in my personal opinion, for this accessory. I think they could have done it a lot better, or make the material much thinner, so you would be able to still have the articulation when she wears the coat. So that's, in my opinion, a bad point of the figure. Again, I hope you like this breakdown segment. Let's go to final thoughts and wrap up this video. Okay guys, final thoughts on the WWE Mattel Elite figure for Sasha Banks. And yes, Techstar, the pimp daddy himself, wanted to get into the shot. So let's actually talk about this figure as a whole. The paint and the articulation are both good and bad. I love the paint job for this figure. The articulation where the arm would spin, the actual bicep, which was over here, bicep would spin 360. I do like that. It's really cool. I love how the waist joint kind of floats. I do like that as well. But the weird cut in where the waist meets the trunks and you spin her waist gives that weird perspective, and it doesn't look right. So if you try to get her into maybe some dynamic poses, like maybe crouching or her legs extended in a certain way, it wouldn't look right. So there's definitely problems there. Now, let's actually talk about the accessories rather. I think it was actually a flaw, a bad misstep. The way these things are colored and the way they are presented looks really poor. Very cheap, in my opinion. The necklace is even worse because it feels like it wants to stretch, and you have to stretch it to get it over her head completely. And you can't really do it with the coat on. It hinders it so much that the necklace gets impaired by her hair and the coat itself. So you have to take the coat off, move her hair around, or try to pop her head off and put the necklace back on. I did try popping the head off because I don't know if I'd be able to get the head back on, unfortunately. Now, when you put the jacket on, I love the jacket and I hate the jacket. I think it's detailed, really detailed on this particular jacket. As I talked about in the breakdown, the SB in the front here, I do like the way it looks. So there's a lot going on for the jacket itself. But the material it's made out of, and that clip where it holds the jacket together, but wear and tear, it will flaw and it will just break, it will just fail completely. That material is known to break down very easily over time. So, definitely buyer beware on that. With that being said, if you ask my opinion, is this a buy or is this a pass? Unfortunately, guys, this is going to be a pass. This is definitely a pass on this figure. It just doesn't live up to the expectations I would have for this particular figure. There's too many cons that do not have enough pros. There's too many issues with this particular figure. If you ask me, I would get another figure, maybe the AJ Styles Elite figure, the Seth Rollins Elite figure, or maybe even Kevin Owens Elite figure as well. Because this one, again, in my opinion, is definitely a pass. So, with that being said, guys, hope you definitely like this video. Click the big subscribe button you see at the bottom of the page here. And you can click Windows over here to watch more of my content. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. And bye-bye. Bye-bye, next time.